God, I know you're going to do something. You're going to do something. Like, you have to do something. Like, we have nothing to go to. And so we're going to Kansas City, and we finally get there. Nothing comes about. We're bouncing around. We knew we're in a transition season, but we just didn't know exactly where that was. And we didn't want to commit to anything like as a lease or anything. But yeah, we were just...
And we didn't think transition was anything away from Kansas City.
Yeah, we didn't know what it was exactly, but also with Bourne's health stuff and working that stuff out. So it was just crazy. But even in the midst of just the unknown, uncertainty, just feeling like everything is so up in the air, like the Father was so kind and just confirming himself to us. Then Arizona kept popping up through various different things, like really random, but yeah, just various little things. Arizona just kept popping up for a time. And I was like, well, I mean, this could be a win for us because it would be great for his health. It's a very dry climate and, all that jazz and everything. So we were kind of getting excited about that, but we weren't really sure what that meant. So basically, I just remember telling you like, well, how about you just kind of knock on doors, see what happens? I don't know, just, kind of go from there. But on January 29th is whenever Bourne actually had a dream, which was really crazy and just wild. So you want to tell them that?
Well, the first thing I saw in the dream was we were clearly leaving Missouri, which on January 29th, that was news. That was like, what? No way.
I remember telling Bourne, wait, do you really think we're moving away?
And
it was really crazy.
I think we mostly,
it was really sad.
I kept saying, I'm pretty sure it's just symbolic.
Yeah, you're like, I don't know.
So we saw that, or I saw that, and there were significant things in the dream that aren't necessary for now, but I saw where we would go. Like I saw the landscape, I saw the geography, I saw what it was like. Particularly, I saw very flat, and I saw very rural and very lush, tons of farmland, like just tons of farmland. There were some more pieces to that, and I also connected with the community in this area that was very rural, and interacted with a leader of a church community there. And we discussed very specific things that were kind of a parable at the time, but still things that was like, that's so interesting. Like, what does that work out to be? What does that mean? Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, January 29th, had the dream. It was the first thing that was like, wait, might we be leaving Missouri? No, definitely not. But then the Arizona stuff really picked up. That's when we started knocking on doors. Yeah, it was really interesting. Arizona started picking up, and then on top of that, we even had some friends move there that were just like, "Wow, that's so crazy." But then whispers of Michigan started happening eventually, which was like, what is going on? What is happening? And when I say whispers, I'm just meaning just the Holy Spirit kisses, if you would, just little, poetic things that are happening. And that was where I was like, I have no idea what's happening now. These whispers, I call them divine poetry. Yeah. It's just, to me, it's where things start happening where it's like, wow, that's an interesting coincidence. Okay, that's 3 or 4 interesting coincidences. Mm-hmm. That's 7 or 8 or 9. It's not coincidence anymore. This is divine poetry. This is planned. That was completely wild, and even another moment of like, wow, we really are probably moving to Michigan. Like the probably is probably not even it's like taken out. We are moving to Michigan. Most likely. Most likely moving to Michigan. We don't know exactly the steps, but anyway, so after several interviews, they actually flew us out to Michigan to come see their church, meet them, meet me, and have more interviews just to see if this would be a good fit, if we would like it. And wow. Well, first off, when we get to Michigan,
I definitely did not think that Michigan would be flat. I mean, I had no idea what the terrain of Michigan would look like, but it actually is so flat, the area that we're in currently. It reminded me of like where I'm originally from, which is the panhandle of Texas. I grew up in Abilene, Texas, but I'm originally from the panhandle where it's just like flat and you can see like miles down the road. And that's literally what it is, except it's green. Texas is yellow, but
or brown.
Yeah. So it was like green pastures and farmland and crops. And it was just like in his dream that he had. It was just incredible. Like he was like, Ashley, like this is my dream. This is my dream. It was so
like driving by these farm fields and I'm just like, I can't believe it. And even what was curious, the dream was almost like in the harvest season, and that's what we were seeing.
Right.
So everything was still green, except for a lot of stuff was harvested.
Yeah. So that was just so crazy.
And people kept saying, "Welcome to Southeast Michigan. It's flat here."
Yeah, which I never knew of such a thing in Michigan. So that was one thing. And then as we were, like meeting the people, the pastors at the church and things like that, a lot of the spiritual aspects of that meeting really was confirmed in your dream too. Just different things were just, lining up with what the Holy Spirit had showed Boren. And it was just really awesome just to see how this was like all coming through. And it wasn't like we didn't have to do anything to figure things out. Like it was just all laid out there before us. The entire process, how smoothly it went, just again, not an ounce of striving, just allowing the Father to lead, allowing the Father to maneuver us.